I'm Helen Coleman, and I'm connected with Federation, well, essentially through my husband, who was the first president of Federation, and I was the first endowment chairman, and had a big responsibility for starting the endowment. I didn't know there was such a thing as endowments until it was suggested that we go to the General Assembly. And we didn't even know what all that was. And that's where I heard about endowments. I didn't know from endowments, from Federation. It was a total eye-opener and just like a revolution for us. And it was wonderful. And my husband, Bob, became president of Federation. And so I asked to go toward the endowments. So the endowments got started. And I hadn't even known what an endowment was, but the more I knew, the more excited I got, because I felt there was a huge future with endowments, and it was an important part for Vancouver to have one.
So I can hear in your voice there was a real connection there. What is at the heart of that connection? What was it that made you feel like our Jewish community here in Vancouver needed a federation and
well,
or an
because
endowment
we were
fund?
Zionists, and that our families have lived in Vancouver since the early 1900s. So we're really old-timers. There were only a few hundred Jewish people here, and Zionism was our passion. We were very strong Zionists. And the birth of Israel in 1948 was an amazing dream come true for us. As I said, Bob was the first president. I started the endowment fund. Bob was the first president in 1987 to 89. And I started the endowment fund officially December 1988. That meeting, it came through. And we've tried to live up to our ideals through the years, both by serving in the community and with financial support. We believe strongly in Jewish communal strength and feel that today, well, the endowment fund, I was just a very strong endowment fund person, and it has grown beautifully. And we feel that our children, with our fund, will be able to direct our philanthropic fund in important and needy areas. And it's our hope that our family will continue to demonstrate our values and try in every possible way to enhance life in the Jewish communities in Vancouver and Israel. That's a fairly good summary of sort of where we are. And it's been a long road, and it's been wonderful.
Clearly a heartfelt connection there.
Very strong, very strong.
So,
And wonderful people that we've also been connected with in that way, and that's wonderful.
the community back in '87 and
Yeah, 89.
when you kind of,
Right.
'88 when you got started, was a lot different then.
Oh, yes.
So talk to us a little bit about what some of the big challenges back then were.
Well, we didn't even really know we had big challenges. We were pretty pleased with ourselves, but it shows how insular we were. We were just, we thought we were terrific, and we didn't even realize what was outside of us. And we were a small community. When you look at the way we were then and felt, we're fine, we're fine. We don't need all this stuff. What's this with Federation? What's this about endowment funds, you know? And now, when you think of our community and the needs of our community and how our community's expanded, we were very small, and each organization really fought for its own. And there wasn't this feeling of togetherness and the importance of all of us working together. And now today, especially when you look at what's happened to the community, we're not just a Vancouver community anymore. We've spread wildly, quite wildly. And it's not easy because you want to connect even the smallest family or person living outside of our city and to include them. And that's a whole different proposition. It's a challenge, it's costly, it's important.
Over the course of your time with Federation, or with the foundation, and just as a longtime member of this community with deep roots. There must have been, I assume, some milestones along the way that maybe stand out for you?
Well, I just think we became a more solid, unified group through the organization of the Federation.
And why is that important?
Because it works a lot better than having a lot of separate organizations all fighting for, hey, we need, we insist, we want, we this, we that. The we has to be much larger than the individual organizations. It has to be a unity of all of us.
Any particular memories, maybe a mission that you went on, or
Oh, that
an
was
event
wonderful. We did
Talk
go.
to us about some of those little specifics
Oh, well,
that come to mind.
we did go on a mission with the group, and that was marvelous, and I recommend it to everybody to go on a mission. And of course, like our mission went to Poland as well, and that was just vital and something never, ever to be forgotten.
I'll talk about Bob and what kind of an executive, just a little bit about him.
I can always talk about Bob. He had not ever done anything like this. And so that was really hard for him. Bob's style was modesty. He was just a gentle man, really. And, oh well, I get that all mixed up with my personal feelings because I happen to have a very strong bias in the direction of Bob. Most wonderful person in the world as far as I'm concerned. But people generally really regarded him as a gentleman.
So how was it that Bob became the first president?
They asked him, and nobody wanted to do it, and he didn't either. And you know, we talked about it, and I said, Bob, nobody will do it. I think it's going to be up to you. He said, okay.
And if he was here today with us, what might he say about, in retrospect, about what he got out of participating?
Oh, he got a lot out of it. A lot of personal satisfaction, a lot of pleasure at seeing the growth and what Federation became and does. These things that we had been totally unaware of earlier. And so he was very, very pleased, and I think I think he did the best job that he could do. And
How about yourself? When you think back about your involvement, are there things that you found personally rewarding out of the experience?
oh yes, oh yeah. I mean, I'm particularly proud of our endowment fund and the way it's grown and the position that we're in now because of it, and the help it will give and does give now and will give in the future. I think it's terrific. And I've learned so much from it, and I've gained from people I've worked with and done very, very enjoyable, and it's just added a dimension to my life that I'm pleased about.
If we were chatting and I was somebody thinking about whether I should start an endowment or whether I should give to campaign,
Do it all.
okay, and why?
Do everything you can because it's needed, and because we're a large community now, and there are a lot of people in our community who really are needy. And I think we've become much more conscious of that needy group. And it's heartbreaking, really, for people to have to struggle, and people certainly do struggle. And if we can help, we should be helping, and we want to help, and we want to expand our help. How rewarding it is to work in an organization like this, and the people you get to know, and satisfaction from any way that you can contribute, financially or with service or both, hopefully. And I think it's a huge plus for all of us who've been really involved.